Well, hello and welcome back to another garden tour. It is the 22nd of September and I have some stuff to share with you, things going on and just stuff to look at. Some interesting things, some quite disappointing things, but you know what? It's all a learning curve. But yeah, let's take a look at what I've done. So, you probably recognise this bed as the potato bed. And that is exactly what it was. It was where I grew my main crop potatoes. However, they have been harvested. There's a link in the description to the video where I harvested them. Pretty cool, you should go check it out. It's kind of surprising how many potatoes I actually got. But yeah, I've planted a cover crop of winter field beans. And this is so that basically it will add nitrogen to the soil again. And these will be chopped down. They're not going to be dug in, they're just going to be laid on the top. Once they're about a foot high, I'll chop them down, and then they will be covered with compost on top of them, and then they'll be left for the winter to rot down into the soil and to add a boost of nutrients into the soil. And that is my way of doing it this year, and next year I'm going full no dig on these beds. However, they are going to still be growing potatoes, just in the no-dig method. These are the runner beans, as you probably know. And, well, the runner bean plant has, obviously, there's two plants here and they've gone absolutely crazy. And with the strong winds that we had the other day, they have sort of blown over the edge and they've all gone down there. So, yeah, I mean, the plants are still okay. It's just a bit more difficult to get to the actual runner beans. But they're still flowering and seem to be producing as well. Our little cucumber plant has came out as well. It was planted underneath these runner beans, and it sort of made its way out, sprawled away across this bed, and we've had a couple cucumbers off of it, and there's actually a couple ready to be harvested. One of them down here look as though it's gone a little bit too far, as in it's too ripe. This one down here is too ripe, it's gone yellow, which means it's sort of going to seed a little bit. So I'll go ahead and pop that into the compost heap, or leave it out for something to eat. This one down here, however, is more ready. Take a look at that. That one's definitely more ready. It's green, not yellow. It's a good cucumber. And there is another one ready down there, but I think we'll wait. Can't eat too many. The strawberry bed, one of probably the best beds in the garden, simply because it's most enjoyable. You can just come over, pick a strawberry and enjoy it. Now these have started to produce more strawberries, and I am getting them off of them again, which, well, I guess these do two crops, because I had some at the start of the summer and now I'm getting them at the end of the summer, and just constantly picking them off and eating them. If you're wondering what variety these are strawberry F1 Elan, E-L-A-N. And I would recommend these, even though they are an F1 variety. They grow very strongly with my experience, and they also, like I said, produce two crops in 1 year, which is huge, you know. It's really good. I've also taken some of the runners and I have turned them into small baby plants, and this is so that I can create another bed of these somewhere else. And I've created 5 runners, so I can plant 5 more strawberry plants somewhere so that I can enjoy even more strawberries. I'd like to make some strawberry jam. That's why I've created more plants. Well, this corner here is a little bit disastrous, I'm not gonna lie. This is a Brussels sprout plant I haven't really shown you in the garden tours, and that's simply because it got attacked by butterflies, and I was trying to defeat this battle, or should I say win this battle, against the butterflies and the caterpillars and the eggs that the butterflies lay. And I think I've finally done it. However, the plant is truly suffered and hasn't got much green foliage on it, but the little bit of green foliage that it has got it is using to create a few Brussels sprouts. We're not going to get many, and I don't think they're going to be very big. However, I think we may get a little handful maybe off of that plant. But yeah, that is that's a bit of a disappointment. However, next year I'm definitely going to net them. I've only got one Brussels sprout plant this year, not any more than that, but that was just sort of, yeah, a last minute thing. I just put it in because my mum and granddad like them. I don't, and my dad don't, so I didn't grow too many. Yeah, but yeah, these potatoes, now these potatoes are meant to be my late potatoes, and I'm actually really disappointed because as you know, I love growing potatoes and I love eating potatoes as well, and unfortunately these have got blight and there's nothing I can do about it now. The stems have started to get the blight in it, and the stems are starting to keel over like this one, and they're just, yeah, they're not going to work out. I think it's because the farmer grew potatoes in his field, they got blight, the whole field got blight, and just the blight spores are everywhere at the moment. And I think no matter what you do, where you plant the potatoes in this garden, you're going to end up getting blight because of the whole situation with the farmer growing potatoes. But I think next year, by the time next year comes, over the winter, most of them spores will probably have died off, won't have much to live on, and hopefully I'll be able to grow potatoes again like I did before. But yeah, that's a bit disappointing. So no nice homegrown potatoes for Christmas, I guess. So just taking a look over here, and these are, well, these are a bit more successful, not so much of a sad story. These are my blueberry bushes. Now these blueberry bushes have started to grow a bit bigger, which I absolutely love, and I'm going to be taking these into the polytunnel once it gets cold and we start getting a bit of frost. These will go into the polytunnel, be overwintered in these pots, and just be left alone, watered every now and again, and then I'll bring them back out next year. And I'm just going to keep doing that until they get big enough to the point where I think they can withstand the winter, and then they will be left out to just do their thing. And obviously they'll be put in bigger pots as well. I'll just quickly show you my lettuce bed just down there. It's just a little place where I popped a few lettuce plants, but it's going wild. Take a look at that. Yeah. So I thought I'd show you the raspberries from this side, as this is where I'm getting the most raspberries from. And I tell you what, these are absolutely amazing and delicious. And every day am I picking a raspberry or two. The other day I picked a big handful, and the day before that I picked a big handful as well. So there's constantly raspberries coming out. I think I might have picked a few too many the other day, so I can't show you. No, I got one here. So this one's just a tiny little one, but I am getting some bigger ones off of these plants as well. And they taste absolutely delicious. And again, they're a bit like the strawberries here, in the fact that you do a bit of gardening and then you come out, once you've done the garden, and you quickly just run over to here, pick a few of these, and just have a nice sort of tasty snack at the end of it. Absolutely delicious. Well, these are the pepper plants that I had a few too many of, so I made this bed in a quick attempt to put them in the ground. And I tell you what, they've actually not done too bad, and if we like green peppers, well, that's a good thing, because I don't think that these peppers are going to turn yellow or red. They might do, however, I'm not entirely sure, because, I mean, there's a really nice sized pepper on that plant, as you can see now on the screen, but all the rest of the plants have really small little peppers on them. And again, I think they'll taste absolutely delicious, but I think they're probably going to stay green. I'm glad I put them in here now. I had to put these stakes in because of the wind the other day. I actually blew most of these plants over, so I just put some stakes in to hold them up. Well, where has the sweet corn plants, you may ask? They are now in the compost heap, and I ate all of the sweet corn on the cobs. They were absolutely delicious, and I'm definitely going to be growing more of them next year. Currently in this bed, we have a cucumber plant, and this was always in this bed. It was just sort of covered a little bit with the sweet corn plants, but I've harvested most of the cucumbers off of it, and we've had about 7 or 8 cucumbers from just this cucumber plant here. So that's a great thing to do, is plant cucumbers underneath your sweet corn plants. It works well. Another thing is, down here we've got some beetroot plants, and these I put in plug trays, and then I just didn't really have enough room to put many more in the polytunnel. I'd already put about 12 plants in there, and they are now in this bed here. But they're actually not growing too bad, and even if we just get some baby little beets that we can have and maybe pickle them in a jar hole, that is a success to me. I promise I'm not trying to grow stinger nettles, they've just popped up. The leeks, we've got some beautiful looking leeks over here, and these will be going in our pastas. I absolutely love leeks in the pastas. They had a beautiful flavour, and apparently, according to Mum, they taste good. I don't particularly like eating them though, but they do add a nice flavour for me. So yeah, anyway, we've got some nice leeks there ready to be used whenever we're ready to harvest them. And I did grow these from seed, so I'm rather happy about that. Chuffed with myself. This is the celery. The celery plants, I mean, I have harvested a couple of them. Again, we've had quite a bit of celery, but just taking this little piece here, giving it a nice little rub. You can hear the crunch on this. Listen to this. The taste of that is so strong. But I only grew about 4 or 5 celery plants, and that has been way more than enough for us. But it is very delicious. Extremely strong, really fresh compared to what you can buy in the supermarket. And ultimately, you get this stuff on the top, which can go in the compost heap. And that's what we like. Well, just real quickly, here is some more pepper plants. Now these ones are not doing very well at all, and they have also fallen over a little bit from the winds. However, they have no peppers on them at all, but I think it probably is a bit too late now for them to produce any peppers on them. But I guess I'll leave them here and just see what they do. Real quickly, at the back here, I've harvested all these potatoes except a bit down here where I haven't harvested some down this side. However, all this side has been harvested, and there are some weeds growing in here now, so I'll go ahead and put them back in the ground, the weeds, and I may dig them ones up, but I'm kind of thinking about leaving them and doing an experiment and seeing what happens if you leave potatoes in the ground and let them come up next year. It might be something worth doing, so I might do it. Welcome into the polytunnel. And as you know, I had some tomato plants here, and I still got them here. However, they will be coming down very soon, as all the tomatoes that are left on them are somewhat going red, but not fully. Like this one, it looks like a ripe tomato, but it isn't quite ripe, but it is edible. Just doesn't taste as good. These tomato plants will be taken down. Everything else will be taken out of this bed. And will be used in some way or another. And then what will happen is I'll spread a layer of compost on the top, and then that will be it. The wood chip will be taken off, and that will be put in a pile to be used somewhere else. But yeah, and then I think I'm going to be putting some lettuce in there. I'm going to do just a big bed of lettuce and maybe a few things at the end of the bed as well for over winter, so we've got a nice supply of fresh salad leaves. In this bed here, I've actually grown some beetroot between now and, so I think the last time I've done that, I can't remember really, but I've grown some beetroot in this little space. And I've harvested that, and that was absolutely amazing. We turned it into pickled beetroot again, so we do have an absolute ton of pickled beetroot. but it's very nice and enjoyable to eat, especially with a little bit of cheese as well. Cheese and beetroot goes together nicely. Here we've got some spring onions. These spring onions have been put in now, literally like a couple days ago, and these will be ready hopefully for next year, early next year. But if we do want to add a little bit of flavour in our salads during the winter, you can go ahead and pick one or pick a bunch and use them as small, tiny little spring onions, just to add that little bit of flavour into your salads. I've also put in some white long radishes. They are, well, ready for this time of year to go in, and I don't think they like really hot weather. I think they like quite cool weather, but yeah, absolutely amazing. Now I can see a little bit of pest damage here. I think there's some kind of beetle which basically just chops off the plant. It just does a clean cut and just chops off the top of the plant. I can't remember what the beetle's called, but it's definitely a little bit of pest damage there. But hopefully some of them will come through and will grow okay. I can eat this. Oh yeah, tastes like radish. Okay, so it's a little bit like a jungle in here. We've got so much going on. Here we have some purple sprouting broccoli, and this is not really meant to go in when I put it in. However, I'm going to see if I can overwinter it and potentially have some very early harvest of purple sprouting broccoli. I think it'd be absolutely amazing if that is possible. But I've just done a small little patch, so it's not taking up much room, and I had to put this netting over because of the butterflies laying eggs and turning into butterfly larvae, which is caterpillars. Here we have some cane chilies. Now these cane chilies, they are starting to go red, which is absolutely amazing. We've had a few red ones, and in fact, I'll just quickly go ahead and pick this red one back here for you now. There we go. Take a look at that. A beautiful red chili, ready to put flavour into your dishes. Absolutely fantastic, and again, it is completely fresh. Just come out here, pick it, add it to the dishes. Just for a little bit of fun, I actually planted a Carolina Reaper chili plant as well. I planted a few, these are all Carolina Reapers, but in here is a giant Carolina Reaper chili plant, and it goes up to the top of the polytunnel, and in fact, I think soon I'm going to have to chop the top off. But down here is actually producing a Carolina Reaper chili. This is the world's hottest chili at 2.2 million Scovilles on the heat scale chart. What a beast. Absolutely crazy. I'm not looking forward to trying it, but it's at least I can say I've grown it. Also got the cucumber plant here, but I'll show you that more in a minute in detail. It's going all the way across the polytunnel, like railings, rafters, whatever you call them, and it's producing a whole bunch more cucumbers ready for late September, which is absolutely fantastic and great for self-sufficiency. I quite feel like I'm in a jungle, but to my left is the carrot bed, and I'm going to be pulling up a couple of those in a minute for you, so stay along just to see how the carrots have got on. I guess you could say that this bed right here is looking a little bit more bare on this end. However, we have the lettuce here, which is producing us a beautiful piece of lettuce, which is bulking up our salads very nicely and adding a beautiful flavour to it as well. And here I've put in some parsnips, as I see that the farmers put in parsnips as sort of like a cover crop in the winter sometimes. And I thought, well, surely they will grow okay in a polytunnel through the winter if the farmers can do it in the big fields. So yeah, I've just popped a few in this little patch here. I've got 3 little rows of them just to see how well the parsnips will do. And yeah, I don't think there's much sign of them yet. However, there should be some sign of them soon, as I put them in a few days ago. But yeah, brilliant stuff. We'll see how the parsnips do. You never know until you try. Oh yeah, and I can't forget to mention the peppers over here are doing fantastic. They are a good sized pepper, like you'd get in the supermarket, obviously just 10 times better. But yeah, they are at the end of this bed, absolutely fantastic, and hopefully they'll be delicious. I'm hoping they'll go red because they're in the polytunnel, but they are currently green, so we'll just have to see. Again, some more potato plants here. These are where I grew my potatoes early this year. I put my first earlies in here, and now I've got the winter potatoes in, but again they have got blight in here as well. However, not as badly as outside, but some of the stems are affected in here as well. So if we're going to get a crop in here, I do not know, possibly not, but we'll just have to see what happens. Oh yeah, and I harvested the melons. Link in the description to the YouTube short that I made where I ate my first ever homegrown melon. It was delicious. I'm not gonna lie, I've been waiting for this moment for quite some time. Let's go ahead and pull out a carrot. Now, these carrots have been growing for quite a while now, so it'll be interesting to see what we get from pulling one out. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab this one, give it a little bit of a twist and a pull. And look at that, an absolutely beautiful little carrot. I bet that absolutely tastes delicious, and the smell is amazing. I'm just going to go ahead and pull out a couple more, and then I'll go ahead and pop the cover back over. Oh, looks deceiving. It was a small one, but a chunky one. And I'll go ahead and pull up this one. Oh, this one feels like a better carrot. Oh, that's quite a nice little carrot. Getting a little bit of an imperfection, but they all taste like perfection. Let's go ahead and give this carrot a little try, see how it is. You don't have to wash your vegetables. You don't even have to get that much dirt off of them, really. Just give them a little wipe. When they're homegrown, it doesn't matter if you haven't sprayed chemicals over them. Let's give it a try. That's a tasty carrot. Can you see me? Can you see me? No, but now you can. Well, that is going to wrap up this month's garden tour. This is September's garden tour, and as you can see, there is a few things changed and there are a few things going on. But I appreciate you so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching, and goodbye.